Hello everyone. So in this lecture, we will discuss about the case study on Indian monetary standards. So before proceeding to that, we will discuss here some historical context of monetary standard. So historically, many countries operated on the gold standard, where currency was directly tied to a specific amount of gold. This system provided stability but limited the flexibility of monetary policy. Post World War II, the Bretton Woods Agreement established a system of fixed exchange rates tied to the US dollar, which was convertible to gold. This system collapsed in the early 1970s, leading to the current era of floating exchange rates. The monetary standard is a crucial component of the financial system, encompassing the institutions, regulation, and practices that ensure the stability and trustworthiness of a nation's currency. By managing the money supply, regulating financial institutions, and implementing monetary policy, the monetary standard helps maintain economic stability, facilitate trade, and respond to financial crises. Understanding the components and importance of the monetary standard is essential for grasping how modern economies function and sustain growth. Now, we will begin with the case study of Indian monetary standard. So, India's monetary system has evolved over centuries, influenced by various rulers, colonial powers, and economic reforms. So, in this case study, we examine the development of Indian monetary standards from the ancient period to the modern era. So, as we all know, the historical evolution of Indian society. First, we have the Mughal rulers. Before that, we have Rajput rulers as well. Before that, we have Aryans here. After the Mughals, it was colonial era. The British government controlled the monetary system of India. And after the Britishers, here we are with our monetary standards, our current monetary standards, which also have some rectifications in it. And the changes are currently being included in the monetary standards. So let's begin with ancient and medieval periods. So first, we will discuss here the ancient India. The earliest monetary system in India dates back to the Indus Valley civilization, 3300 to 1300 BC, where silver and copper coins were used. During the Vedic period, barter was common and cowrie shells served as money. So, barter system. What is barter system? If we define barter system, it is like you are giving some commodity in against other commodity you are taking. So, for example, if I want grain and the other person on sugar. Then I will take the grains from that person, and in replacement of those grains, I will give the sugar to that person. This constitutes to the barter system. You don't need money to buy or purchase any item. You just need other item which the person needs to buy or purchase any item you need. Then we come to the Maurya Empire, which will which was between 322 to 185 BC. The Arthashastra and Asian Indian treaties references silver coins called patna as the monetary system. The punch marked coins were prevailed made from silver and other metals. Then we come to the Gupta Empire. It was between 320 to 550 CE, and the period was known for gold coins called dinars. The Gupta period marked significant advancements in coinage, influencing future standards. Then here we come with medieval period, which started from 1206. So first is Delhi Sultanate, the period ranging between 1206 to 1526, introduced a currency system with silver tankas and copper coins called chittas. The Tughlaq dynasty issued token currency, which failed due to lack of public confidence. Then we come with Mughal Empire. The period from 1526 to 1857. The Mughal period saw a standardized currency system with silver rupees, gold coins, and copper tam. Emperor Sher Shah Suri is created with standardizing the silver rupiah, which weighed 178 grains of silver. Now, after that, there prevailed colonial period. So here we will discuss about the British East India Company. Introduced a uniform currency system in the 19th century. The silver rupee became the standard currency, and in 1835 it was legislated as the official currency of British India. Now, then the Paper Currency Act of 1861 was passed by the British government. As the British government gained the monopoly to issue currency in India, the Reserve Bank of India was established in 1935, and it was the period of colonial era, taking over currency issuance. After the colonial era, it was the post-independence era from 1947. So, from 1947 to 1950, India retained the British currency system initially. The Indian rupee was pegged to the British pound until 1966. Then, after 1966, India devalued the rupee by 36.5% to address the economic crisis and gain IMF support. IMF is International Monetary Fund. It is an international organization to support the various countries during the economic crisis. So, as we have already discussed about the devaluation of currency in the previous lectures. So, the first case of devaluation of currency in India was happened in 1966 when India devalued its currency to 36.5%. So, in 1971, the rupee was delinked from the British pound following the collapse of the Bretton Woods system and was linked to a basket of currencies. Then we come to 1991 economic reform. Liberalization policies led to a market determined exchange rate system in 1993. The rupee became partially convertible in 1992 and fully convertible on the current account in 1994. So now let's discuss about the modern monetary system. In 2016, India adopted a flexible inflation targeting framework with a target of 4% to 2% inflation, which is managed by Reserve Bank of India. The introduction of digital payments, unified payments interface, and mobile banking has transformed the monetary landscape. Digital currency initiatives like the digital rupee are being explored. Now we are moving toward the challenges and future prospects of Indian monetary standard. So the first challenge is currency stability. Maintaining currency stability amid global economic fluctuations is very important for the Indian monetary standards. Along with this, expanding access to banking and digital payment systems in rural areas for the inclusiveness of growth among the unreserved area or undeserving population. Then, implementing and regulating digital currency while ensuring cyber security to prevent any exploitation of digital currency or any exploitation towards the financial system of India. So, after discussing about the historical evolution of monetary standard, the challenges and future prospects of current monetary standards, we came to the conclusion, and this is to say that India's monetary standards have undergone significant changes, reflecting the country's economic, political, and technological advancement. The evolution from ancient coinage to a modern digital economy showcases the dynamic nature of India's monetary system, adapting to meet contemporary challenges and opportunities. In the previous lecture, we discussed the case study on the Federal Reserve System of United States of America, and we can also say the monetary standards of USA. Now, after discussing about the Indian monetary standards, we will move towards the case study on comparative analysis of Indian monetary policy. And so in this case study, we will conduct a comparative analysis of the monetary policies of India and USA by examining the goals, tools, frameworks, and outcomes of the monetary policies implemented by the Reserve Bank of India and the Federal Reserve System of USA. This case study aims to identify key similarities and differences between two countries' approaches to managing their economies. This comparison will provide insights into how each country addresses economic challenges, maintains stability, and fosters growth. Furthermore, we will explore the effectiveness of these policies in achieving their stated objectives, such as controlling inflation, managing employment levels, and promoting sustainable economic growth. Now, first, we will understand the importance of monetary policies. So, the first is inflation control. One of the primary goals of monetary policy is to maintain price stability by regulating the supply of money and adjusting interest rates. Central banks can influence inflation rates. Controlling inflation is essential to preserving the purchasing power of the currency and ensuring economic development. So, the monetary policies are important for economic growth of the country. It can stimulate or restrain economic growth during periods of economic downturn. Central banks may implement expansionary policies to increase the money supply and lower interest rates, encouraging borrowing and investment. Conversely, during periods of rapid growth and rising inflation, contractionary policies can help cool down the economy. It is also important to maintain the employment level. Central banks aim to achieve and maintain a high level of employment while influencing economic activity through monetary policy. They can create conditions that promote job creation and reduce unemployment. It is also important for interest rate management. Central banks set benchmark interest rates, which affect the cost of borrowing and the return or savings. These rates influence consumer spending, business investment, and overall economic activity. By adjusting interest rates, central banks can influence the flow of money in the economy. Effective monetary policy helps maintain stability in the financial system. Central banks monitor and address potential risks such as asset bubbles or banking crises to prevent disruptions that could have widespread negative impacts on the economy. It's also important to maintain the exchange rate stability. In open economies, monetary policy can influence exchange rates. Central banks may intervene in foreign exchange markets to stabilize their currency, which can impact trade balances and capital flows. During economic crisis, central banks plays a crucial role in stabilizing the economy by providing liquidity to financial institutions and implementing unconventional monetary measures. They can prevent or mitigate the adverse effects of financial shocks. Consistent and transparent monetary policy enhances public confidence in the economy. When businesses and consumers trust that the central bank will take appropriate actions to maintain stability and growth, it fosters a positive economic environment. So, this is to say that monetary policy is a vital tool for managing a country's economy by influencing key economic variables such as inflation, unemployment, and interest rates. Central banks can create conditions that promote sustainable growth and stability. The comparative analysis of the monetary policies of the India and USA will shed light on how these principles are applied in different economic contexts. So, the monetary policies of India and the USA share similarities in their objectives and tools, but differ significantly due to the economic conditions, institutional frameworks, and policy priorities of each country. Let's see the objectives of monetary policies in India first. So, the first objective of Indian monetary policy is price stability. The Reserve Bank of India aims to maintain inflation within a target range, currently set at 4% with a tolerance band of plus minus 2%. It supports sustainable economic growth and employment are also key objectives of Indian monetary policy. It also ensures stability in the financial market system. Now, if we discuss about USA monetary system, then it has dual mandate. The Federal Reserve's dual mandate includes maximizing employment and maintaining stable prices to control inflation. Now we will discuss about the tools used by the India and US monetary system. The first we will discuss here in context of Indian monetary policy. The first is repo rate, the primary tool used by the RBI to control inflation and stimulate economic activity. The second is cash reserve ratio, the proportion of deposits that banks must keep with the RBI, influencing liquidity in the banking system. Third is open market operations, used to manage liquidity and interest rates through buying and selling of government securities. The fourth is statutory liquidity ratio. Banks are required to maintain a certain percentage of their net demand and time liabilities in the form of liquid assets like cash, gold, or government securities. Now we will talk about the tools of monetary policies in the USA. The first is federal funds rate, the primary tool used by the Federal Reserve to influence monetary conditions in the economy. The second is open market operation, which is similar to Indian monetary policy. These are used to adjust the federal funds rate by buying and selling government securities. The third is discount rate, the interest rate change charged to commercial banks and other depository institutions on loans they receive from their regional Federal Reserve Bank's lending facility. The fourth is quantitative easing, which is also known as QE. It used during economic downturns to increase the money supply and encourage lending and investment. So now if we delve into the decision making structure of Indian and USA monetary policy. So first we will see in terms of Indian context. In India, we have Monetary Policy Committee. The committee-based approach introduced in 2016 to decide on key policy rates, enhancing transparency and accountability. Now, if we'll see in context of USA, then it has Federal Open Market Committee. This committee responsible for setting monetary policy comprising members of the Board of Governors and Reserve Bank presidents. So now we will discuss about the economic environment of India and USA. So in Indian context, India faces challenges such as diverse and growing economy, high inflation volatility, and need to balance growth and stability. India has emerging market dynamics, including external vulnerabilities and exchange rate management are crucial. If we look into USA's economic environment, as a developed economy, focuses on maintaining stable inflation and maximizing employment while managing global economic interdependencies. Policies in USA have broader implications globally due to the US dollar's reserve currency status. So, while looking at all these points, this is to say that while both India and USA aim to achieve economic stability and growth through their monetary policies, their approaches vary due to differences in economic structures, policies, frameworks, and development stages. India's policy often emphasizes managing inflation and fostering growth in a developing economy context, whereas the USA's policies focus on balancing inflation and employment goals in a mature and globally interconnected economy.